All right, we're on MGE. I'm playing against Ducks. I reached out to Ducks in one of the comments, and I said, "Hey, I can help you. You know, I'll take a look at your MGE and just seeing how you're improving." And yeah, I'm here kind of after each round. I'm gonna talk to Ducks, and I highlight it what I say, and I just highlighting where I think he can do better. I just recently played with my friend Evan, and I pointed out, like, hey, you're always strafing right to left, and it's making me, really easy to air shot you. So I think a little bit of advice can go a long way. And I think MGE is like one of those tools that I think this is like one of our best tools for practicing our DM. And it's fun because you can set your own sort of restrictions in your mind. So you can say, oh, I'm gonna always fight from the low ground, or I'm gonna focus on always strafing my opponent's rockets, or whatever you want to work on. You know what I mean? There's no, like, even if you lose, it's like it's really no big deal. These are just fake points that don't matter. So just think of MGE as a tool for working on whatever you're working on. But I'm going to kind of try to talk through what I'm doing, what I think about, and there's a bunch of rounds here that we play, and then I feature kind of a round at the end where I was more so in my prime, MGE-wise. I don't really MGE anymore except to help people out here and there, very rarely. We're actually MGEing right before we played, and I definitely noticed a difference when I was playing later in the night on casual. I was just hitting my shots probably twice as consistent after just a little bit of MGE time. So I do think that if you want to, improve your game, just a little bit of MGE every day would go a long, long way. And this also is going to be a nice kind of practice for me. I was going to do a DM guide that kind of went more into detail, and I pause and I break down everything. So this is going to be a good, I think, start for me figuring out how to talk about DM. Also, Ducks, in this game, he talks about how he's just learning to kind of C-tap with my C-tap method from my mobility guide, and he didn't really have a chance to practice it yet. So I think that's one of the big things I bring up is just, hey, you need to get a little bit more consistent with your C-tap. I think that would go a long way. Because every once in a while, you just, like he does these nice, slow, very air-shotable jumps. So I think if he got a lot more consistent with his C-tap, I think we'd see be a lot harder to hit. There, my advice was to add some variation. So even though he's working on a C-tap, I want to see him do left to right, right to left, like switching it up every single round, every single death. Like, I want to see something different. I don't want the same jump twice. I think about that a lot when you start playing, people at the higher levels, people like me, and it goes well beyond me, but they're a lot more brutal, and you have to throw in variations every single time, throw in wiggles. You got to do whatever you can possibly do to make it difficult to predict where you're going to be. I used to play against an MGE Lord, and it's probably when I was at my very best MGE-wise, because playing against them forced me to go for shots I would never really normally go for. I'd normally I'll wait for him to... It's like, if you wait, you're dead. You don't even have a chance at winning, because you would be air shot, 90% of the time. Just like the rare moments against those people are when they miss, and you can't really count on it. So, working with people that are better than you in MG is kind of what you should go for. I know it's frustrating to going against people that are, not even letting you hit the ground, but it's definitely how you would get better very quickly.
You're a disgrace to the uniform.
Here, you know, that was a cool little jump, landing on that little platform. I think you've seen in my last videos where I like to land on height. I also think a lot about like how I'm moving. When my opponent hits me, I think of a lot about how my surf can get me in a better spot and improve my positioning. All right, let's see what I say here. The second I hit you and you hit the ground, you need to jump. Okay, so I think that is an important thing. I keep hitting him to the ground, and I think he's trying to fight from there, which is a super difficult spot. So I think a really good advice would be the second I hit you down, I need you to just jump and find a new positioning, because fighting me from the low ground is not going to be good. See how I like kind of took that rocket of his and then surfed it on top of those boxes? Even though I didn't need to do that, round was over. It's like getting in that rhythm of like, okay, I'm practicing where I'm kind of using that momentum is huge, because I do that in pretty much every casual game. I'm always surfing my opponent's rockets and surfing my opponent's damage to either back me out of a fight, to push me deep, like further, or use it to get on top of my opponent and get a nice shot on them. And then also, you know, when you're in MGE, you know, go for those tough shots, go for those air shots. It's just practice. It's just, we're here just for fun and to get better. So like that shot right there, that I could have waited until he hit the ground, but yeah, I wanted to just see if I can hit it. And the more you practice that stuff, the more you get consistent. And I think that's what puts you in that next level of, yeah, gets you that next level of DM. And sometimes I purposely will stay on the low ground to go for an air shot, just because, you know, that's, in my mind, that's what I really want to work on, is kind of like, okay, what if I get in a situation where I need to plant my feet? I have to stay where I'm at. I actually had that one of my last games in Invite as a player. You know, we were about to lose, soldiers bombing in on last. There's like a half a second of cap time left. I had to stand my ground. There was no other option. And I hit that shot. You know, I mentally was ready and prepared for it. No matter what jump was thrown at me, I was ready to air shot that player to keep us alive out of that in that game. And I think that made like some like season highlight. And it was great. It was a great feeling. But that's kind of, I put the work in here. You know, I'm mentally thinking about that stuff.
Got one.
Almost at 70, 130, 200. Scout point pipes.
Nice, fucking full. Oh, nice.
Just med right now. Two roll out.
I have to resub. I have to resub. Yeah, fuck. Nice fucking shit for
there.
Here, I don't know if Dux was just taking a second. This is the thing. If you're losing, and you know that MGE is a huge mental game. A lot of people get really frustrated. They get upset if you're playing a certain way, or it is tough to lose. And yeah, it's also another chance to practice your mental game. And sometimes you just need a second to say, okay, it's I'm all right. This is what I want to work on. Have a new plan of attack. It's fun to be on the side I'm on, but it's tough when you're on the other side. But that's what makes you a great player. All right, my advice was, I could tell your C-tap's not super consistent. Like I said, he's just learning how to C-tap with my method, so I think it's going to take him a little while. My method's just by right-clicking, left-clicking to C-tap. Makes it super, super easy, but you just need to put the, you know, hours in to get consistent like that. Here, you know, I stayed on the low ground. It's not like I'm trying to counter jump him. Same with this. And you know what? I like that he jumped to the left of me instead of going for the obvious height. Just that alone prevented me from hitting it that shot. So I think, you know, a little variation goes a long way in your defense. There, that's a missed C-tap. There, I you know, like I stayed on the low ground too long, and I missed my shot. Here, I'm just holding the low ground. I think at this point, I like practicing the low ground stuff. It just puts me in a tough position, and I don't know. I like practicing that stuff. There, that was a great shot. I wish I could hit stuff like that every time. I used to be really consistent with it. And I could still be consistent with it. I just need to practice. I need to practice more and get more consistent. Who knows, maybe me and Bo will start MGing more. Like when we first started out, me and Bo probably MG'd each other every day. And he was on demo when we first started playing Newcomer. And I got super good at killing demos. That was like probably my forte, just because me and Bo were MGing. You know, he was on demo, and he got really good at air-shotting soldiers. And honestly, our first season, like, we put in the work, and you could tell. I mean, our DM was far better than anyone else in our division. And that carried us, honestly, that carried us to main. And we're just playing on Gully Wash mid. This is my favorite soldier v soldier map. But there's, I think in the future, you know, I like to play all arenas. I think there's a little nuance to every single arena. But for me, I don't know why Gully mid is my favorite soldier v soldier. And my favorite thing to play against is other soldiers. My least favorite thing to play against is scouts, because I don't run shotgun. And if they really wanted, they could just stay back and chip me down. And that's where it gets frustrating and not so much fun. But it's reality. It's like, you know, that's what could happen in game. So it's like we need to practice for it. And I like 2v2s. MGE has 2v2 stuff, and I think that's great to play with, like, either other friends or, you know, just practice their combinations. Alright, I think I'm just saying more of the same stuff, and I think Doc's just gonna keep working on that. Alright, this is a clip from, I think from more so my prime, and I'm playing against Plinko, who was not playing Soldier this season and had not been really practicing it, and he was just being a good sport and playing against me and helping me warm up. I think I just asked him to help me warm up for a favor, and he was really cool and helped me out here. But this is more from when I was, you know, in my MGE Prime, I think. MGE Prime is a new drink that I'm coming out with. So keep an eye out in stores. But I think you'll see a little bit more, like, consistency in my shot. And how I follow up, like, right there, that was a great shot. That's the sort of shot I want to hit every single time, if I can. And that comes down to discipline, practice, waiting for the right moment. That was another great 3-shot combo. Oof, that's a good shot. Man. Oh, missed that one. But it's close, and I know what I'm looking for. Muscle memory's there. I'm also getting really good first rockets on Plinko, which is allowing for, like, a nice follow-up. Like, if I stall him directly in the air and he goes straight up, it's going to make it extremely easy to hit that second and third shot. And yeah, that's kind of what it looks like in my prime. Not there anymore, but you can get there if you practice it. Okay, this was my first attempt at talking about MGE, so I think in the future I'll yeah, I'll keep working on that.